Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. What's good with it? It's the homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Reporting live from the Dogon. Each one teach one, peace and love. Yeah, this is another session of Mackin' with Mac. Book review series. So where do I go with this? Where do I start? Basically, um, the book I will be reviewing is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Let's see, published by Harriman House. But real quick, I know some of y'all. Hold on, let me cut this down. I know y'all peep the drip, y'all peep the swag. Green Ranger, a big part of my childhood. I want to say R.I.P. to Tommy, the Green Ranger, White Ranger. Played a couple other Rangers, but Tommy was a force in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger realm. But I want to say R.I.P. to Jason David Frank. I never knew his government name. I'm reading it now. Jason David Frank. So I want to pay homage, memoriam, respect to Jason David Frank with a moment of silence. Let's get it. May his soul rest in peace, rest in power. So the book I read that I am reviewing right now is The Psychology of Money by none other than Morgan Housel. I feel like this book is very poignant. The psychology of money. I feel like the overarching premise here within this book is just people have to take a psychological approach to money. And by that meaning, how much money is enough money? What are you comparing? Like, are you comparing yourself to your peers? To mass media? How much money is enough money for you? You know, and I think the problem now is, and one of the things I like in this book, he talks about how he came to get this consumer mind frame. He talks about, you know, the post World War II and how home ownership became a thing, gadgets, inventions, materialism. It was birthed out of the post-war era on U.S. soil. So it became a thing where people felt like, I should have nice things. I can buy nice things. If the Joneses down the street have X, Y, and Z, I should have it too. And I know Huey Newton said, you know, there's pretty much with the American propaganda machine, the narrative that is pushed is these narratives of opulence, wealth. I have the finest and best of everything. So everybody starts to feel like that. I don't want to give this book away, but I think it was masterfully written. It pretty much just talks about how I feel like the gist of this book is really summarized in the postscript. The last 10 pages. Let me read something from it. Let me find it. Where do I start? The more the internet exposes people to new points of view, the angrier people get that different views exist. That's a big shift from the post-war economy where the range of economic opinions were smaller, both because the actual range of outcomes was lower, and because it wasn't as easy to see and learn what other people thought and how they lived. I'm not pessimistic. Economics is the story of cycles. Things come and go. The thing that I like about this book, essentially he's saying, calm your mind. Figure out what works for you. Understand that, and even early, like one of the earlier chapters in this book, he talks about how this guy was a billionaire, and he was running a hedge fund, and he was a thief. He basically started a Ponzi scheme, and ended up having to go to prison because he did not have enough. Find your enough. What works for you? What clothes do you want to wear? Where do you want to go? What do you want to Let it be your narrative. Control your own narrative with money. Stop chasing the Joneses. Low key, the Joneses are jealous of you, and you don't even know it. That's the overarching theme I find in this book. As far as the lexicon of money and the terminology with money and investing and all that is replete through this book. Excuse me, but the gist of it is, be disciplined in your mind. Why are you spending your money? You're spending it to what end? Invest. Everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people are looking for this quick come up. The main thing I learned from this book was, wealth is not what you show. Wealth is what you keep. Wealth is what you have stored in case something happens that you may need to spend your money on an emergency. Wealth is what you have to pick yourself up, to sustain yourself. Wealth is not what you flash. Wealth is not having a Benz and stunning on social media. Wealth is being able to take care of your family. Wealth is being able to take care of your kids before they get here. Be disciplined in your spending. Have a metric that you create. Why do you value certain things? Why do you want certain things? Do you inherently want it because you want it? Or was it propagandized and sold to you? This is what you should have and this is what you should want. I know there's an example in this book where he talks about he says there's a man who went to Harvard, was a creme de la creme executive for a Fortune 500 company. I don't want to say Fortune 500 company. And there was another guy who had little to no education, worked as a janitor, worked at a gas station, retired worked part-time as a janitor after his retirement. And one of the two died with, let me say this. Yeah, one of the two died with, at a price point or a value of $8 million. Wasn't the guy that went to Harvard, it was the guy that ended up being, retiring, working as a janitor, working at a gas station. He understood, and one of the main things I got from this book, I keep saying main, there's a lot of jewels in this book. Read this for yourself. Read it. The thing he was basically saying was like, look, be disciplined in your spending. Be disciplined in your spending, and want the things that you want. Not because someone told you to want them. Want them because you innately want them. And not only that, but self-control with your spending. Understanding you don't need everything that pops in your face that they tell you to buy. Understanding that, look, you need to figure out what works for you and live below your means. Don't buy into the facades, the opulence, these fake narratives. With social media, you can portray whatever you want to portray. It doesn't mean it's real. But back to the one of the key points here is developing wealth off of compound interest. stacking your money and letting it grow, being disciplined in your spending habits and your spending patterns, and not being greedy. A lot of people are just greedy. Like the guy that ran the hedge fund. He essentially created a Ponzi scheme because he didn't have enough. There was no enough for him. And one of the things I liked in this book, he also explains how there's a conversation between these two wealthy men, and he tells one of the other guys, like, look, I'm winning. Yeah, such and such may be worth more than me. He has more money. But he doesn't have there's no peak for him. He wants more and more and more. I have enough. I'm good. Psychology of money. I think people need to understand, like, be disciplined in your saving, be disciplined in your spending, and understand, like, ultimately, you have to create something that works for you. Find out what your goals are financially. You want to have a house. You want to have a quality standard of life for your children and your family. Focus on that. Don't try to be Jay-Z and Beyonce. Don't try to be the Obamas. Don't try to be the Joneses, whoever. Don't do that. Like, find out what individually works for you and your family. And, I feel like this book pretty much showed me, be disciplined in your spending. You don't need everything. Figure out what your financial goals are and stick to that. And save your money. No, you can't save your way out of poverty. But you have to understand, this economic the economic structure of this country, it moves in cycles. Stack your bread for rainy days. You don't need every Gucci fit. You don't need every Polo fit. You don't need every Louis Vuitton bag. If you get it, cool, get it. But you don't need all of it. Stack your bread. Create an infrastructure. The best way to create generational wealth is to be disciplined in your spending. Learn about money. Learn about the functionality of money. Learn how money works. Stack your bread. Develop compound interest. And invest intelligently. But understand, find something that works for you. And I like how, in this book, he highlights how, some people, their best economic strategy is to try to win the lottery. And on the other end of that spectrum is, somebody's best economic strategy is to play stocks. But it's all a gamble. Figure out what works for you. Figure out what works for you. Be disciplined in your spending. The Psychology of Money. This is a really good book. There are a lot of stories in here. Came across something. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. What does that mean, Mac? Let's get into it. If expectations rise with results, there is no logic to striving for more because you'll feel the same after putting in extra effort. It gets dangerous when the taste of having more money, more power, more prestige increases ambition faster than satisfaction. In that case, one step forward pushes the goalpost 2 steps ahead. You feel as if you're falling behind, and the only way to catch up is to take greater and greater amounts of risk. Modern capitalism is a pro at 2 things: generating wealth and generating envy. Perhaps they go hand in hand. Wanting to surpass your peers can be the fuel of hard work, but life isn't any fun without a sense of enough. Happiness, as it said, it just results. Happiness, as it said, is just results minus expectations. Yeah. The Psychology of Money. Get this book. Control your narrative. Find out what is enough for you. Stop living in comparison with other people. Stop running the rat race. Figure out what works for you. Also, go cop this book, The Psychology of Money. A lot of jewels in here. Shout out to the homie, Morgan Housel. Great read, great read, great read, great read. A lot of jewels in this book. I just wanted to get into the overarching premise. Being disciplined in your spending, having an end game, having discipline with your money, knowing what you want to do with your money, ultimately what do you want to create. Create your world, what makes you happy. Signing out from the Dogon, each one teach one. Thumbs up, give me the likes, thumbs up, give me the likes, thumbs up, give me the likes. Let me know what you feel about this book. Talk to me, man. Y'all be listening to me. I feel like a lot of y'all don't comment. Let me know how y'all feel about this book review. Mackin' with Mac. Book review series. Signing out from the Dogon. Go cop this. Each one teach one. Thumbs up, give me the likes.